Do you guys want to see something awesome? Look at this. This is absolutely insane. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely amazing. It is a vector image of my car printed out into this massive poster. It's amazing. This is done by AC Creative. He's one of my subscribers and he hit me up to do one of these. I'll link him in the description and also on the screen. He's absolutely amazing. He is really good at what he does. The details on this thing, incredible. So if you ever want any graphic design done, be sure to hit him up. All right, now let's get to the video.
I feel it at the feet, I swear it be like a heart attack. Patient with the sights, I watch it melt so fast. Huddle up like water, feel it rain. And why you be so blue like that? Forget down the street.
You gotta get a quick rev in before we get to the top.
Please they get me through this lane. Running tracks around you while you lanes getting way too much change. Visions wasn't crystal clear, still I'm seeing through the glass.
Alright bros, you guys are always asking me this question, so I thought I'd go ahead and make a video about it. Today's video is going to be all about my camera bodies, my equipment, my lenses, everything. I'm going to show you what they all are and a little example of what they do. So let's get started. Alright, what should we start out with? We'll start with the lenses. Alright, so for lenses, if you're using a DSLR, you have an option to use interchangeable lenses, which means you can change out the lenses that you don't want to use and that you do want to use. On my camera, I primarily use a 14mm, which is what you're seeing right now. On the 14mm is a super wide angle lens, which means I can fit a ton of landscape into the actual shot. This is my go-to lens for vlogging because it's not too much in my face and it also gets what's around me. Next up, we're going to talk about the 50mm. The 50mm is my primary lens to shoot at car meets. It's good because it gives a nice depth of field, but you don't have to be too far away from the car to actually get a good shot. I use this at car shows, also when I'm shooting individual cars, when I'm doing video. The 50mm is a very useful lens. You can use this for multiple different scenarios. If you want to get that nice Instagram blurry background look, the depth of field look, most people use this 50mm lens. And lastly, we have this 85mm. The 85mm is probably one of my most favorite lenses. I only use this really when I'm doing an individual car shoot. It gives an insane depth of field whenever you're using this to shoot with. It's a 1.4 aperture lens, which means it lets in a lot more light, therefore you can focus in on the object that you're trying to focus on very, very tightly, and the backgrounds be really blurry. That's what I really like about this lens. It gives really good shot whenever you're focusing in on one subject. I like this one a lot. I don't really use it for video. I hear that it's good for video, but haven't really used it yet. All right, next up we're going to talk about all of my camera gear. I'm going to start out with what I use the most, and that would be my slider. This is just a really cheap slider off of Amazon. It's called like an easy slider or something like that. That's what I use to get all of my panning shots at car meets or when I'm doing car edits or really any of my videos. This is what I use for that. And I also use a fluid tripod head. This is the fancier FT717AH. That's what I use to get the panning shot. Then I have two tripods to stabilize that. These tripods are really crappy. They're two different brand tripods, not even the same brand, and they're like broken. So when I tell you guys you do not need any of this stuff, and you do not need really fancy gear to make good videos, you really don't, because this is, yeah, I use broken equipment most of the time. All right, next up is this thing. This is called a Cam Nano Dslr. I rarely ever use this. I just started to use it at car meets when I'm vlogging through car meets because it's good for that. It helps me stabilize my shots because I don't really have steady hands for when I'm vlogging. This is pretty cheap as well. It's not like a glide cam or anything. It's the cheaper version, just called Cam. So yeah, I use one of these. And then lastly for my gear, I have this suction cup mount. This was actually a 3-arm suction cup mount, but if you've been watching my videos for a long time, a few months back, I was actually robbed while doing a shoot. They stole my previous camera, a tripod, and they stole 2 arms of this because it was on a different camera. So yeah, they stole that, so that's just a single arm. I haven't bought another one yet. That's what I use for my reviews. I'll stick it up to my windshield and I'll have it hanging upside down. You guys have seen that before. And lastly, for all of my gear, this is probably the only thing that you wanted to see throughout the entire video, are my camera bodies. So I have 2 different cameras. I have my main camera, which you're watching right now, and then I have a backup camera. So my backup camera is this Canon PowerShot G7X. I use this for all of my behind the scenes videos and things like that. Also really good for vlogging because it has this flip up camera and you can see what's actually in frame, unlike what I'm using right now. And if you're wondering why I have the logo taped up, it's because whenever I was robbed, the cops told me that a good idea is to tape up the branding on all of my cameras, because sometimes when they want to come and rob you, they look for name brand things and that's what they'll take. So I went ahead and taped these up just to lessen the chance in case it ever happens again. Okay, so I switched over to the G7X so you guys can see what my main camera body is. So what I primarily use is this Sony A7. It's just the base A7, not the A7S or anything like that. And like I said, this is the 14mm lens that I have on it. Then I have the Rode VideoMic Go on there, and I have this little $30 Joby GorillaPod thing. It's a really, really light camera. That's why I like it. It's not big and bulky or anything like that. The screen doesn't flip out. You can only like flip it out like that, but it doesn't flip out so you can see what you're getting in frame or anything. It's one of my favorite cameras. It's super small. The image quality is really, really good, and it's easy to carry around. So I'm gonna switch back to that camera now. Alright guys, that is all of my camera equipment. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Once again guys, I do not need any of this equipment. When I started my channel, I started out with my iPhone like 4 and I put it in between the headrest and the seat and I clamped it down and just talked in my car. That's all I did it for. You do not need any of this equipment. This comes with time and experience. Just remember that. You don't need any of this. All you need to make a YouTube channel is you, some sort of video taking device, and just go out and do it, guys. That's my biggest advice to you. Just go out and do it. Do a walk around of your car. Do a video introducing yourself. Do anything. Literally, just take your phone, go videotape yourself, and make a video. That's my advice to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. There's a lot of more awesome content coming out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. She's crazy. She's crazy. She took my car.